because I know. See, the thing about the interviews that we're gonna be doing this week, I'm doing my research on niggas, so I might ask them uncomfortable questions that other people aren't. I'm not asking you, yo, what were you thinking when you wrote this song? I don't care what you were thinking when you wrote this song.
Right, I wrote it.
Because you don't even live that life of the song. I'm not interviewing because I care about your music, right? So I might ask you an uncomfortable question, like, do you know your dad? And depending on how you answer the question, we might have to take
sensitivity so separately.
I'm not. I can't do 3 weeks of that shit. I can't talk about it.
I'm done.
Weeks.
After I sent that clip to the chat, I said,
"Yeah, I mean, granted, wow." But I don't necessarily want to talk about Jason Love and Adam22, but Adam22 has been our wildin'.
Is a retard. He is disgusting.
I just don't. I added him to my hate list. Really? I added him to my. No, I had to.
Can you please play that video?
I had that. Which video?
The video he sent.
Nah, I'm not. I can't dignify that shit no more.
Why do you have him on your hate list?
Because he's just bad for the culture.
He's wilding.
Is he?
He's just bad.
At this point.
Is he like an honest cuck?
No, fuck what he do in his household. He's just bad for the culture. Okay. He's just it's instigating shit. Like now that he lost all of his black employees, he went straight to the right wing shit. He was doing the right wing interviews for a month. Now he's back to doing the gang shit, and niggas don't want to answer questions, and then he's baiting them into answer questions. Like the live with him and Rooga, whatever the nigga name is, or there was a live with Crip Mac and another nigga. They on there talking about they gonna kill each other, and this nigga that because you know on the live it's the two niggas on the bottom and it's him on top, so it just looks weird anyway. And then he's up there just laughing, making wild facial expressions, and these two niggas are down there talking about they about to kill each other. When I see you, fuck your mother, I'm gonna shoot your kid in the face, all of this. And he's up there instigating the shit.
I mean, but ain't that an issue for, I mean, definitely fuck them crackers. But ain't that an issue for like niggas though? Like,
yeah, but okay, but
fuck them crackers, like not white people in general, but like them crackers that be like abusing the shit. You know what I'm saying? We love our white friends. You know
but
what
it
I'm saying?
started from
but fuck them crackers. Though.
It started from an interview Adam did where he was asking the nigga about beef. Dirk had just did an interview with academics talking about his beef with whoever this Rooga nigga is. Rooga goes on Adam22 shit, and Adam asks him, yo, you don't want to respond? And you don't want to clap back at him? He's like, no, I don't. You don't want to respond? Like he said this, and this. No, I'm good. Talk about something else. He just kept harping on the same thing. Then to the point where the nigga was like, yo, just don't put the interview out. Adam still put the interview out anyway. So Adam went live. Adam went live. They argued about was it the right thing to do, and Adam again he just stands on the he can ask whatever.
He's gonna get killed. Somebody gonna kill him.
But that's the thing. He had the incident where a nigga ran into the studio with the gun. though. That wasn't fake. That was real. The nigga ran into that studio and had a gun. The gun just jammed. That's on YouTube.
To kill Adam?
Yes, that's on YouTube.
That nigga not gonna. Bro, I know that shit was.
That wasn't fake.
But niggas not getting to him now. After that shit, niggas not getting to him, bro.
No, niggas should get to him.
It's just one of them shit, bro. It's just one of them things, bro. It's just niggas just. It's certain niggas that don't need to be walking around, but they just do.
No,
it's one of them.
Sorry, I
that's a fact.
Throwing a little bitch fit. Not that he's a bitch, but throwing a fit because I did an interview with him and I actually asked him about the shit that Dirk said about him in the academics interview. And
he threw a bitch fit, but he ain't a bitch.
Black beef, and now he's crying me a river, acting like it was so inappropriate. Bro, Dirk just did a 3-hour academics interview and answered every single question about beef like a grown-up. He just actually answered the questions. Now you over here having your fucking period because I actually asked you about a couple of different interview clips that were viral that mentioned you. The rest of the interview was not about that stuff and you're totally misrepresenting it. Yeah, bro, just grow the fuck up. Why'd you come do an interview if you were gonna just complain about it afterwards? Rooga, you gotta hold this L.
Yo,
right,
you gotta hold this L.
All right.
He said you gotta hold this.
I ain't gonna lie.
He gotta go.
I see the duality in both right and wrong in that shit. So like you a topic of conversation, you are gonna be asked about this shit on interview. That's just given. But all the other shit he said was kind of crazy. Actually, not even kind of.
No, the caption of the video is "Yo, Rooga, stop." What did he say? Stop.
The
being
nigga
soft.
said you on your period because, bro. What?
Yeah, he's
wilding.
Bro, all he asked was just don't put the interview out, and you put it out anyway. That's all he asked. Just don't put it out.
I feel like I can't blame even him. I blame everybody that tuned into that shit, bro. Niggas gotta, you know what I'm saying?
I just don't respect Adam because he do that shit with everybody though. That's his.
Vlad did it with everybody. This nigga do it with everybody, bro. It's a fucking
But
trend.
Vlad doesn't interview. Vlad interviews niggas who 9 times out of 10. The ones you're talking about, Vlad's not doing those interviews. He has his minions doing those interviews. This nigga
Vlad
Adam, but
Vlad has asked questions that could definitely.
I'm not saying he hasn't.
Right.
I'm not saying he hasn't. Adam22 is the person that sits down with these young niggas who nobody knows. Nobody knows who Rooga is. Nobody even knows he beefs. Nobody knows his beef with Dirk.
I don't know.
The only reason he's up there is to talk about his beef with Dirk. Nobody knows his music. Nobody knows nothing about him. So you only interviewing these niggas based off Dirk just did an interview with Ak. I'm gonna get you up here to respond. It's the only reason why he's up there.
Right, but if you know that as an artist, you gotta hold some personal accountability, bro.
It's under the guise I'm doing an interview. You asked me about my music and then you slip that in there.
But niggas never heard of you. That's the thing. If niggas never heard of you and your name pop up after this Dirk shit and then now you getting on interview, you know that's coming.
No, it doesn't matter. That's my shot. It's still no jumper. He still got 3 million subscribers, whatever it is. It's still my shot.
No, I agree with you.
Because all I'm gonna say is I don't want to answer that, and now you should move on. If you're a good interviewer, like when we start doing these interviews, if I ask something somebody doesn't want to talk about, then we taking it out. We moving it on. We taking that part out.
That's facts.
It's just that simple. I might, because I know. See, the thing about the interviews that we're gonna be doing this week, I'm doing my research on niggas, so I might ask them uncomfortable questions that other people aren't. I'm not asking you, yo, what were you thinking when you wrote this song? I don't care what you were thinking when you wrote this song.
Right, I wrote it.
Because you don't even
I
live the
rapped
life of the song. I'm not interviewing because I care about your music, right? So I might ask you an uncomfortable question, like, do you know your dad? And it depending on how you answer the question, we might have to take that out. So it just depends. Like I might not ask a nigga like, yo, so when such and such shot you, like, did you spin the block? But I might ask you like, when you got shot, did you cry? And you might want me to take that part out. I mean, I won't really ask that.
I was gonna say, nigga,
I won't really ask that, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's certain times when you interviewing, you got to know when to just move on. Or again, unless that's your goal, I can interview you, ask you first couple questions about whatever it is you think it's going to be about, and then let's get to some ignorant shit. Because had he took the bait, that interview would have went crazy. All you got to do is take the bait.
Hey, check this out though.
I didn't ask him.
You just not real at. You ready for it?
Okay, let's hit me with the truth.
This is him and Adam.
You know for a fact I talked to you personally and told you to let me see that shit, nigga. And you said your idea was, okay, I'm going to send it to you before we drop it. Right or wrong? Did you say that or not?
Do your homework
Did
on
you
Adam22
say it?
forgetting because I do 10 interviews every
No,
week.
hey, you talking to Chicago then. Let us be honest.
Come to
Let
LA.
us
be honest, Adam. Just stand on it. Like,
He talk way too crazy.
Acting like a little bitch.
To be that frail, he talk too crazy.
Who, Adam?
Out of pocket or out of line.
Hold
Tell
up.
me what I asked about that was so out of line.
Be quiet. You ain't letting me talk. You trying to overtalk me on that.
So to your point, Adam tells him, I do 10 interviews a week. I don't have time to be worried about taking shit out of your interview. Then don't do them. You should hire a team for that. The excuse can't be, yo, I do mad interviews a week. I can't tell somebody, yo, I cater 50 times a month and
But you know what you.
I'm gonna fuck yours up.
You know what you getting on there for. You know
Not
it's
necessarily.
controversy. Come on.
People think
You
they
know
coming
it's
on this
controversy.
podcast to talk shit. They gonna sit here and ain't gonna be no shit talked.
You know it's controversy.
What?
People that want to get on this podcast would think that they get on this podcast and can do what we do. They can't.
They can't.
Not facts. But if you got a nigga on here, all right.
'Cause
Example. Hold on. Example. If you the girl on the hood of the car, the 787
She's
shorty.
pussy.
Yeah,
Chill.
you gotta relax.
Yeah, you gotta chill.
First of all, she was doing
She
80
is.
and a 60
I
on
don't
the hood
give
of a
a-
car. She's not pussy.
I don't give a fuck.
She's actually got the
She's
heart of a lion.
soft because she didn't want to get on here.
Would you do it
And pop her. Yes.
on the car?
What?
You would get on the car?
No, I was
All
talking
right.
about.
You're pussy.
No, I was talking about coming in
Charles
here.
and Chew.
I
done.
was referencing
But
coming
look,
in
if
here.
Shorty knew what it was, right? She popping right now. She knew what's going on. She didn't think that you would think like she wouldn't have any idea to say, oh, he gonna ask me about this shit.
No, she knew I was gonna ask her about it. She knew I wasn't coming on here to ask her how her day was.
That's why I
we
was
were
calling
only
her
talking about
soft.
that. We were only talking about that.
That's what I'm
was
saying.
the guys. But I told her ahead of time, we're talking about this.
Yes.
You hanging on the hood of the car is what I'm interviewing about. I don't care about your life.
I'm pretty sure she knew that before you even had to say it, though. There was no disclaimer needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain shit that just
What
gonna
else would
happen.
she be on here for?
Yeah, I have no other reason.
Who is this Rooga nigga?
But to somebody, he's somebody. Shorty is nobody to everybody. He's somebody to somebody. Like, he's somebody to somebody. So there's niggas who listen to his music. He probably got some type of a backing. I'm gonna get him on there under those pretenses. It's that simple. I have people that hit me and was like, "Yo, I want to be on the pod." I don't even know Shorty like that. I just told her I'm not familiar with what it is that you do. So I said, she blocked me.
Wow.
I'm just not familiar with what you do. My bad.
Truth. What you think about the situation? Quiet as fuck.
Nah, I was just listening. I go back and forth, but I kind of agree with you. And it's a double-edged sword.
It's double-edged.
It's a double-edged sword. Adam is Adam. Adam is, and even watching the pod, Joe Budden shit and learning a little bit more about him too. They was.
Oh yeah, we gotta finish that shit too. That shit like 3 hours.
Right,
That shit's like 3 hours long.
We was watching the Joe Budden shit, and Joe was kind of. They was talking about the same type of shit, the kind of content he puts out and how he does it, and he's still gonna do what he gonna do, and that's what I was saying. Like, I don't wish death on nobody, bro, but he gonna do that shit to the wrong person, and they're gonna line him, son. Like you know what I'm saying? So, but I feel like shit. If I do an interview with somebody, I'm like, yo, listen, take this part out. Respectfully, just take that shit out. I don't care if you drop it, but just respect me enough to be like, you know what I'm saying? Don't put that shit out, because regardless, the part, I don't know, I never seen the interview. Part of the interview, whatever questions he's asking or answering, could lead to more beef, more smoke, or whatever.
Right.
And it could be about some shit that he don't really can or don't want to talk about.
So why don't he
some of the questions?
But that's what I'm saying. It's like but the accountability side is like, bro, you don't gotta even say, yo, take it out.
Right.
Just be like, yo, I'm not answering. Move on.
Right.
No, but that's what he did. You got to watch the interview because he did that multiple
so then
times.
I wouldn't ask to take it out.
But Adam,
if you want to post a 2 hour,
it wasn't that he wanted him to take it out. He told him to send me the interview before you post it, and you didn't send it to him. You just posted it. Now, whatever's in there is in there.
It's like a spit.
I don't even get the option to ask you to take nothing out because you just sent you just posted the shit. It's like with the Joe shit. They kept telling him, it's like when he posted Meet the Man, the title of the video was Meet the Man that killed Young Dolph. What do you think that video, before you clicked on the video, what do you think that you're about to see when you click on this video? Meet the man that killed Young Dolph.
Interviewing the nigga that killed Young Dolph.
That's what you would think.
Right.
No, it was just a video of them talking about the nigga that killed Young Dolph.
So he different, bro. That's what I'm saying.
So it's the way you, or he'll title the video.
But when
such
do we?
and such
But when
mother
do we tell
violates such and such.
But when do we tell when do we tell artists that you don't have to go to every podcast? You don't got to do every interview.
You don't. But that's
the issue.
They all looking for a shot, bro.
Nah, bro.
We all looking for a shot.
We seen too many Vlad interviews where niggas get jammed up over some dumb shit, and they say, "Damn, you shouldn't have gone on Vlad."
And we've seen mad of them when that went the opposite way. We've seen mad of them that where niggas didn't talk about the dumb shit and they did perfectly fine.
Right, but if niggas can't withhold that, right? There's certain niggas where you got to look at and be like, all right, I know your content. It's no jumper. Right. It ain't no hole in the wall, nigga.
Well, why don't we put the onus on the nigga who has to do the research? I'm not putting it on the young
niggas.
These niggas are 20, 21, 22, 23. Them niggas are young.
But now
they just want the exposure.
We all seen this shit.
You do 10 interviews a week, my nigga. You should know how to conduct yourself in an interview.
But if I'm looking for views, my nigga, I don't care what you think. I want the viewership.
Exactly. You're doing it for the views. You're doing it for the views.
So,
I'm doing it for the views too. But I want positive views. I don't want the negative shit.
I agree that he should be for the culture.
Because when I go home, you don't got to go home to this.
Right.
So you don't got to live
So
this.
then just don't do the interview, period.
No, because if you ask me about
getting exposure,
I still want the exposure. It's like if a nigga sits down here.
You can't have it both ways, bro.
You can.
You
cannot. Because if a nigga sits down right here, right? If we take Nat out and we put another girl here, not to take you out, but let's just say we put another girl here. She can't sit. She won't be able to. She won't be able to withstand none of these jokes.
Right.
Like it's the same, but she'll want the exposure. She'll want the same exposure that Nat gets. She wants the same exposure that Nat gets being on the pod, but she won't. She can't handle the heat.
All right, so just like for just for what happened. Azalea Banks on the Wildin' Out shit, right?
Yeah.
You want the exposure. You want to be funny. Wait, hold on. But then you got roasted to hell, and then now you upset about it. You can't have it both ways. So it's like we got to start putting the onus on these younger niggas. Like Adam22.
The only reason I agree with you. Only reason why I'm going to disagree is because she already had a name. This nigga is somebody we don't know. So I'm talking about the young niggas that go on these platforms that we don't know. Their only goal is for us to know them now. I said this nigga name more times today than I'll ever say in life.
Listen, we gonna talk about this because I hear Nat huffing. We gonna talk about this maybe on a bonus.
I was just fucking breathing.
I'm tired of you hearing. I'm tired of hearing you.
And I'm tired of hearing you right now.
This is good though because we don't deep dive enough into conversations anyway. So
yeah,
we'll talk about it.
I'm good. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I feel like we should hold our own. Who is it going to be easier to reach? Adam22 to say, yo, stop doing the interviews. Or we going to start telling young niggas, don't do it. It's
niggas
stupid.
just got to keep the
It's
same
too many
energy.
of them. We could get rid of Adam22 and Vlad. That's two niggas. We don't got to get rid of all Lil Kit Kat and Taco Tony. We only got to get rid of these two.
But you're saying two niggas
This
with a.
nigga
You're
is
saying
on snacks today.
But you're saying get rid of two
It's
niggas
Lil
with a
Kit
whole
Kat.
fucking army. We're saying get rid of two niggas with a whole fucking army of niggas that watch them, right? It's easier to say, yo, young niggas. If any one of these niggas go on and say, yo, to the young niggas, stop going on these fucking podcasts because you know what it's about. How easy is that?
Where they gonna get exposure from? They can't go on. Ain't
other,
no radio.
How many other
everything
fucking
else is dead.
podcasts are there?
No, yeah, you can go on other podcasts, but Joe's not letting you on his. Drink. You can't get on Drink Champs. You're not getting on $1 Million Worth of Game. You're not getting on none of this shit that matter. You're gonna be on. You're gonna be on fucking.
The breakfast.
I don't want to
Club.
say it because I was. About to,
Yeah,
but you're gonna be shooting your shit exactly. So you don't. It matters. It matters.
I've had enough.
It matters.
I've had it.
I'm just saying, bro. Like you can't.
I think you can't have it both ways
because you can't get on. You can't get on all these platforms.
You can't have it both ways.
You can't.
You can't have.
You can't get on Drink Champs.
You cannot have it both ways. You know it's some bullshit when you go on a pod.
These niggas can't get on Drink Champs.
Do any other podcast. Like you can. Like you're
give me
saying,
three.
I'm not.
Give me three.
I
Give me
don't
three
pay
that they can do.
I don't pay attention to bad podcasts, but here's the thing: you can't want superstar status if you just blown up anyway. So
He ain't making the money you are. You sitting there interviewing these black kids that are fucking killing each other and y'all monetizing it. That's not cool. I don't give a fuck what they talking about in they songs. Y'all are turning a profit off of this black trauma of them killing each other. Yeah, they the ones doing the killing.
You think Adam22, you think Vlad, Adam22, all them niggas, you think they give a fuck? They already getting cake off it. It don't matter.
You know they don't give a
Adam22
fuck.
is a nigga that bought his wife a Urus for getting fucked.
By a black.
You
by
think
a
that
BBC.
nigga?
That's
You think
fucking retarded.
You think that nigga's gonna? You think that nigga care about fucking niggas crying fucking alligator tears about niggas that killing each other over interviews?
That's a fact.
Nigga don't care. But we tell these young niggas stop going on these podcasts, and it's a different story.
They just got to keep the same energy with the niggas that's interviewing them that they do with their ops.
Yeah.
Listen, nigga,
exactly.
we not talking about that.
None of that.
All right, let's go.
Move on.
But
Who's
that's
calling
the
cops?
thing too, though.
Huh?
Who's gonna call the cops?
What you mean?
If they do that? To
No, he
interviews,
said. No, he said keep the same energy with the interview as the ops.
Yeah.
So,
Ain't no calling
need
cops.
cops.
Yeah, now keep
And-
that
and
same
then again,
energy
too,
that you do with the niggas on the streets with Adam22 and Vlad and all of them niggas.
They don't have to answer those questions.
Period.
they just don't have to do the podcast. If
But
you
they
know,
don't- but they
We
can
want
do the
exposure.
podcast.
That's like saying.
that you know
that's
what
like
you're
saying
getting
niggas
into.
That's like saying niggas didn't have to go to the Breakfast Club back in the day because they knew Charlamagne was gonna do them weird ass harassment jokes when he would do the women. But they still wanted the exposure, so they was going there
you
hoping
can't-
he wouldn't. Nobody knew that he was gonna tell J-Lo, yo, when you get up, I'm gonna smell your seat. That's
wait,
weird.
So hold on. So wait. So you're saying that they're supposed to hope that he doesn't.
No,
knowing
and if
damn
you-
well, hold on, wait, knowing damn well that he's going to.
And when you do, I'm gonna tell you I'm not talking about it, and I'm gonna hope you being the 40-year-old nigga. That nigga's 40, so you being a 40-year-old man that does 10 interviews a week. I'm gonna expect you to know once I say I'm not answering to move on, not to just keep saying yo. But
And
your man did it. But he did 3 hours about you. But he did this. That's
a nigga
ass.
that's-
But that's
not-
what I'm saying. These upcoming rappers don't have to get on these podcasts and answer questions. They don't have to answer specific questions. Like if Adam says, "Oh, so what's with this beef with you and whoever that
Lil Kit Kat.
we moving on." I don't got no answer for you.
Right, but then all right, so then what we're talking about a nigga as sick as Adam22 that could flip the shit and probably say, oh yeah, somebody probably gonna interview him about that interview and say, oh yeah, it looked like he was scared or scared to talk about such and such, and then they gonna flip it. So either way you do it, it's a lose-lose. Like that's a weird nigga. Period. That's a weird cracker. Simple as that. You gotta know
that nigga out the culture.
Facts.
Yeah.
But I'm saying we also gotta hold our niggas is not gonna boo-hoo him out the culture.
It's gonna take
Niggas stop
two
going
ways, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's had to gun butt that nigga one time. You don't gotta kill him.
Cops. There's gonna be cops. Cops are gonna be called.
So that don't mean shit.
If we
These
tell
little
niggas
niggas don't care about them.
If we tell these little niggas don't go on there, bro, his viewership dies out. Period.
You're not gonna. Not really though. Yeah, bro.
I mean,
He got a whole nother side,
you saw what he
bro.
just did. Yeah, but he got the portion. But you saw what he just did with his employees. He just lost all his black employees for talking behind their back and interviewing the racist nigga and all that. He don't care. It's just numbers with him. It's all about the numbers.
So why are we gonna boohoo a nigga out the culture who don't care?
Because we don't need niggas like that in the culture. We need niggas like we need niggas like Nori.
Anyway,
we need those niggas in the culture. We don't need him. We need Elliot Wilson and Beat Out. We don't need him.
But the more niggas go on there, the more he's solidified.
I'm taking academics over Adam22.
The more niggas go on there, is the more he's solidified in the culture.
The more these young niggas go on there.
Rappers love telling on themselves anyway.
Legends don't go on Adam22. That's why he still exists, because the niggas like Nori and Wale, and they're not taking them. You can't go sit with them. It's not possible.
But I'm not absolving Adam22 saying that he's scot-free in this shit. Like, I wholeheartedly agree with you, but I'm not gonna say he's 100% to blame when niggas are actively doing this shit voluntarily. I can't. Like, it's too.
Saute Poppy.
BB in the building.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Sensitivity so separately.